Welcome back. Sold You So Series podcast. I'm Andy Higgins with Maybon Real Estate, and today's guests are, who do we have with us?
Heather Bars.
And I'm Joey Bars.
And Heather and Joey are missionaries in Belize, and they have a mission or a actual living, breathing
Mission
facility called A Better Belize. So we'll get to unpack all that stuff and how that happened. The story of it is just amazing. And Heather kept saying a God thing or just, talking with you guys. I thought I knew some things, but I didn't know it all. So tell us, you grew up here in Evans. I'm best friends with your little brother, Nick. So we definitely gotta make fun of Nick, but, and Joey, you're a North Augusta boy, right?
I am born and raised.
Yeah. How did y'all, we'll just get into that first. How did you two, tell us the love story.
But anyways, we were in this class and I was a beginning, like I had been real flippant about what I was going to do. So I'd taken
I'm envisioning Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore already, right?
Kind of
y'all
moment,
is this the ghost story?
That's
y'all
right.
are?
That's right.
So it was a carving class. So I'm envisioning like a shop.
Right.
And I get in there and power tools and 13 women. Joey.
Lucky the draw.
Smart man. Smart man.
Talk about class.
I like it.
You would think that.
Hey.
However, the boy never said a word.
Were you
The
shy?
class,
I don't see that.
No.
Yeah. I don't see that.
strange.
Yeah.
None of us
Right.
saw. I mean, there was chains.
So y'all are doing straight
all
up.
kinds of stuff.
Just
Y'all are like
big time
carving wood.
Yeah,
There
carving.
was actually
Was
like
anybody lose a
onion.
finger?
No. But there was like
I'm
trees.
surprised.
Like they
Yeah.
had trees
Right.
with the bark off, laid up together, big fire pit.
Right.
And you were supposed to go get a tree and then make something. That was
Wow.
about the extent of the instructions. So Joey showed up every day with a journal and books and stuff, and we're not taking advantage.
And you were in the same class though, right?
least.
Or
we were, but backstory, I had come from the Savannah College of Art and Design, so
Okay.
I really, I had been in the art
You already knew
movement.
it.
Oh yeah, I was.
It was cool.
Yeah.
And I was,
You were too cool.
I was
Right.
a little, yeah.
Right.
but
You're the guy that once a band becomes popular, you can't listen to them anymore,
Exactly,
right? You
right.
got to have the
Yep.
indie stuff.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm with you.
but I know
Yeah.
books on the bind of the book, the title was Tragic Ways to Kill a Woman.
Wow.
And I thought maybe he was a serial killer.
Joey's like, what is this?
So
yeah.
that
Kind of an
was,
enigma.
and I knew I couldn't go to my
Yeah.
professor and say,
What's wrong with
hey,
this guy?
can we
Yeah.
out? So I had to do some investigation. It was before like NCIS was.
You're like
right?
checking to see if he's on like on the list
Oh,
or
yeah.
He
anything.
hasn't
Yeah.
spoken.
Right.
I haven't really heard him speak or know about him. So I kind of leaned in and asked more questions.
So this goes on for the whole semester or quarter. You guys are probably on the quarter schedule. Right?
I mean,
never asked
we
me
were in
out.
several classes together, and I don't think I ever spoke to hardly
Really?
anybody. No.
And actually,
Were you in a relationship at that time?
I was coming out of one.
Okay.
So I think, damaged
Yeah.
goods, I was
Yeah.
just kind of
Yeah.
holding back.
Man. And she opened that heart up.
That's right.
right.
That's
Well,
right.
he actually came to help me. I had a project where I stuck my
Right.
cement, and I did not know that cement was
And that sounds
Caustic.
like
caustic and would eat my fingertips off.
Right.
I was kind of hurt and helped.
this
so I
sounds like the
stood up
degree
there.
I should have gotten. Maybe I could have got a 4-year degree if we would have done arts and crafts time.
Exactly.
That's funny.
But he showed up to help me and asked me out. Pretty funny. I frustrated. I mean, I'd even perplexed as to why he hadn't asked me. out all
Right.
these times. My grandmother even knew about him. Like
Oh,
I'm like, but I just can't. So when
That's
we did that day, I was
right.
dirt and
Hey, I'd seen her at
And
the
you
worst.
find- yeah,
I'd seen her
yeah,
at the worst
exactly.
at that point,
but he ended up and was
Oh,
before I could
yeah.
think it is about damn time. And I was like, I thought, oh my gosh. I was like, I'm so sorry.
So
Yes,
that
I would
was
love
what,
to.
6 months into you kind of being around each other?
Probably.
Yeah.
No, actually, it may have been more like a year.
I envision, so once you guys went out to dinner, y'all talked the entire time.
Pretty much.
Y'all probably
I
talked
knew.
on the phone for 3 or 4 hours at a time.
Yep.
I love it. Yeah.
Our first date.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's
Took me to
sweet.
Billy.
What a great
Hard to beat that
local
classic, right?
Oh man. What a good Augusta establishment like that. Luigi's.
Yeah.
I know I'm missing a few, but we've gone to Cadwaller's. Y'all
Yeah.
remember
Mhm.
that?
Oh, yeah.
We've been there a couple of times recently, and it was just
Augusta Staples.
yeah.
Can't beat them.
It's such a cool little spot. You're like right there. You pass by it a million times. So a funny thing I was thinking about going down memory lane with Heather and back in the day, the Pontiac Firebird.
Oh, that's when we met.
So she still had that car,
yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So
It was.
what was it, like purple?
No,
What
it
color was that
white.
car? That was white. Okay.
Tops and everything.
Okay. I don't know how it came up with purple then, but I remember that car. Obviously, her little brother Nick would take it every chance he could get.
Really?
And we would just go riding. Yeah.
When I met her, I thought it was a little extra, man. I was
stealing
just like,
Brummy cigarettes and
yeah.
flicking them out the T-top. I wasn't.
Right.
Yes.
I think, yeah. Because
But
I was an angel, but maybe not. So the title of we've worked in obviously the mission, Belize, all that, but part of the title too was butt mirror. So we've got to talk about what is a butt mirror. And Nick had it. Is that what this was?
Always, yes. Pretty upset. Younger, wasn't he, about the way he looked.
Before we went out, right? You had
Right.
to get the right fit, the right shirt, and everything like that. So just being a bigger guy, I don't know. To me, it was like you had 2 or 3 pair of jeans that you liked, or a pair of khaki pants and a couple of shirts that you wore. You know, Nick was the kind, we'd go over there to go to the party, and it would take him and Brian Bacon. Shout out to Brian.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely.
But it would take them 30 minutes to pick the shirt, and they would try it on, and then they would go look and all that. And, you know, meantime, I'm sitting there, hey man, let's go.
Exactly.
Let's go. So, but I'd never heard about this butt mirror. So he had a mirror that he would check out
the backside.
check out his rear end. Oh my gosh.
I think that was right about the time Heather and I started dating. And
That's hilarious.
I was witness to the butt mirror.
He went through some phases for sure. We still give him a hard time. You remember like the LL Cool J Kango hat? He got into that, and they got into playing beach volleyball for a while. I don't know if you remember that phase, but so another funny thing I was thinking about is just the time frame of us growing up in Columbia County, the 80s and 90s as kids, to now, how much it's changed. And you guys you've been away for a solid 10 years, but you know, when we were growing up, it was just, you know, you knew it, and Augusta's still a big, small town, but it's just crazy the growth we've had. You know, you grew up out in Windmill, and, you know, back then people would be like, where is Windmill? I'm not coming out there. That's too far to drive, right? So I grew up in Canterbury off Hereford Farm Road. I would ride my dirt bike from there to Nick's house. You couldn't do that now. You would get in so much trouble, but there just wasn't there was traffic, but it's nothing like it is now.
Yeah.
So,
and just like you said, us being gone for 10 years, the amazing development that was progressing every time we would come home once every year or two.
You would see something else.
Columbia County has just really flourished.
Yeah. They've done a great job with the schools, and I feel like they've handled the growth as best they can. I know roads and stuff like that, it's always an issue, but in North Augusta too, shout out to your hometown, man. Y'all, they're doing great.
The riverfront's looking great. Parks and Rec. Just a lot of,
they have stuck to their guns, you know, keeping a certain look, and the baseball stadium, everything. It's just such a vibe. It's fun. So we enjoy that. Do y'all go check out baseball games and stuff when you come back, or what's so one of the questions, like, when you get off the plane and you come back, like, where's your first stop? Do you miss, is it Mickey D's? Is it Chick-fil-A?
No.
None of that stuff.
I mean, I think each of us have our independent sort of things that we like to go check out. I think Heather and I, when we hit Atlanta Airport, the first thing we want to do if we have time in the layover is to eat sushi or something. Yeah. Something that we really can't
just a
get.
good meal that you can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Only tacos.
Right. Yep. That's right. That's so funny. That's one that I saw you guys. That's been a few years now, but we ran into each other at Taco Sushi. Oh man, that's a good one too.
You just take for all those.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we appreciate smooth pavement.
Yes,
because where we live, the
roads and everything. Yeah,
but roads,
right?
Driving.
Yeah,
it's like you can turn this.
So on Belize, do you drive on the same side of the road as we do?
We do. So
that's similar, okay.
Right? Because we're well, and it's oddly enough because we're a leftover British colony, but yet we drive on the same side of the road as the U.S.
Wow.
So funny, a lot of other islands in the Caribbean and places like that, other countries, they drive, on the opposite side.
That's interesting.
We're lucky enough. Yeah.
The native language is
English. I would say at any point in time, you have 3 or 4 languages being spoke, but the native language for education is English.
Okay.
And then you have obviously Spanish, Maya, and various other languages.
Belizean people have a Mayan look to me. Is that a good
assessment?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because I would say that the majority, wouldn't you say that the majority of people that we're surrounded by are what they call mestizo or mixed?
Okay.
Mayan and Spanish.
Okay. Really?
We have a huge Mennonite culture.
Canadian.
Did they migrate there to help with missionary stuff, or is it more of just
I think most of them were just looking for a place to lay down roots and form their own communities. But as Heather mentioned, they came from Germany to Canada to Belize. And so we have a very large Mennonite constituency.
Like, how long do you feel like they've been there?
About 60 or 70 years.
Yeah.
Full time.
So they've planted some roots.
And they're very industrious. They own probably 90% of the poultry and agriculture, dairy. They dominate in so many industries.
Do they work just with themselves, or do they hire out?
No, they hire out, and they marry.
Good,
marry amongst the Belizeans as well. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about the size of Belize and everything, just to kind of paint a picture of that. You guys were saying Belize is about the size of Rhode Island, 400,000 residents roughly,
right around there.
Okay. The real estate piece that this is like I was telling you guys, we can talk a little real estate if you want, but I really want to talk about anything. But tell us about real estate in Belize. We were trying to figure out what something would cost roughly and a piece of property. So like a vacant lot, Heather was saying would be around 15,000 US.
I think as with any real estate, it's location.
Right.
And so, but I believe if you're in rural Belize, anywhere Belize, you're looking at about that 15 to 20,000 US for a lot.
Is there a vacation? Is there secondary real estate that's purchased there a lot? Is there people that have vacation homes there?
Yes.
So
for sure. Absolutely.
Is that a big market? Belize, I felt like scuba diving for some reason is a big deal there. Is that true?
It is. Yeah. Okay. We have the second largest living barrier reef in the world outside of Australia.
Wow.
So big big diving community, big fishing community. Birding is huge because we have such a jungle, accessible jungle culture that birding is people coming from all over the world. So,
that's interesting.
Yep.
All right. Tell us about, sorry, Heather, you go ahead. You go ahead.
We took Sophia, our oldest.
Took her birding?
Birding. And I thought it was, I was like,
no, but tell her what it
bird.
Yeah.
So did you guys wear it? Did you get the hats and everything?
No,
you got to get the shirts and the hats.
It was amazing. Right. It was just the red macaws, scarlet macaws.
Right.
Fly in. And nest. It was it was really exciting.
No,
and
that's
it felt
cool.
like you were on a treasure hunt.
I've gotten into bird. I'm big into bird feeders now. That's how old I've got. As soon as I got these things, it was like, I'm going to get into bird feeders. So now I've got like 4 bird feeders in the backyard, and I'm like, look at the birds. So.
But yeah, the scarlet macaws migrate once a year, and so it only happens for a couple of months. And
so that's a big deal all over the world when they come. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's cool. We were saying it's not considered third world. You would say it's more second world.
Absolutely.
As far as I mean, there's internet, there's businesses, and that sort of thing. It's just roads, housing, and everything is kind of hit or miss.
It's more of a developing country.
Okay,
and you feel that when you're there,
right?
You know, Belize is kind of. If you equate Belize to American beaches, it's kind of like the Edisto, rather than the Myrtle Beach. We don't have a lot of large commercial establishments that feel like all inclusives or Cancun type.
Yeah,
we're very laid back, very kind of sort of mom and pop type country.
Sounds like a great place to possibly go on a vacation because it's a little bit more. It's not as commercialized, I guess you were saying.
Right.
So, do y'all have Walmarts, Costco's? Yeah. How do you live? How do you guys live over there?
We there is no, but because of the income structure.
Yeah.
And the little bit of expendable income that we have and the small population, we don't have any recognizable shops. Nothing that the American population would recognize.
Really?
No. They tried a Subway one time in Belize City.
Yeah.
And it failed miserably because nobody could afford the sandwich. I mean, like it was just a little too high end even for.
Because by the time it gets there, because we were touching on that. By the time anything gets there, it's been imported,
taxed,
duty tax.
Right.
And then, the shop owner's got to make a profit. And then, it sounds like the government's fairly corrupt there. They've got to take their piece.
Sure.
Right. So a Subway sandwich here is $10. There it's $20.
Well, it could be more, but you have to realize that the disparity in income difference. I would say that right now the average Belizean across the board makes about $7,000 to $8,000 US a year for a household. So that puts Belize into perspective about everyday Belize. $7,000 to $8,000 US per year for a family's household. So that really kind of sums it up.
That would be.
I'm trying to remember exactly how we broke it down at one point in time. I've heard it.
But I mean, are they able to rent a house or, is
right? They can, yes. Yeah. And a lot of people do rent.
Yeah.
The rental market's big, but we're talking about $100 to $200 US for a rental for a family rather than $1,000 rental. So, and they even have to sacrifice on their high school, what child they send to high school, because no school in Belize is free. They actually have to pay. So they're really selective.
There is no public school system in Belize.
Because we just don't have a tax base. We don't have enough of a tax base to sponsor education. Yeah, it's an interesting place.
Yeah. After talking with Heather a few times this week, it was just fun chatting with you this week. Just catching up on everything. But I left a couple of the conversations just thinking, man, and I said this on the phone, you guys are pushing a rock uphill, but you're making a difference. I know you are. And there's people there that are making a difference every day. I guess we can jump into that right now. I mean, about a better Belize is the name of your facility, mission, everything like that. Right. So, How big's the facility? How many, I guess you guys work with church groups primarily. Mm-hmm. So how many church groups come and visit at a time?
So pre-COVID.
Wow. And they stay for a week, 10 days? Yeah.
And then once COVID hit and
everything. Yeah.
That's really our financial base.
Yeah.
And so we started receiving donations. And that allowed us to bring our staff back.
Wow.
And so we were there, but we were
Yeah.
So we just started reaching out.
So how long were you guys kind of shut down?
Well, Belize, I believe, is a country. They shut our international airport. We couldn't leave at that point. You had to make a decision to repatriate on a flight, one of the last few flights, or stay.
So you guys had some decisions whether you wanted to come back and
Oh yeah.
quarantine.
I say we were
here,
shut down for 2 years,
Really?
close to 2.
We couldn't even walk down the street. You had to stay in your house.
And
If you got
if
caught
not,
walking
like
down the
somebody, a
street,
police official or somebody would
got
come by.
fined.
And, yeah.
Right.
taken to
Fine.
jail or
A fine.
$5,000
Yeah, it was pretty
fine.
pretty steep.
But in their defense,
Yeah.
the virus down.
Yeah.
They don't have proper hospital.
Yeah.
They only had like.
You guys are probably some of the last people to get the shot if they wanted to take the shot, you know, or whatever. And then if they did get sick, they didn't have the hospital facility.
Right.
Man, what a crazy time.
Yeah, but as Heather mentioned, after COVID opened up again, we had to decide, are we going to continue going back to 50 plus teams a year, or are we going to do something different?
Yeah.
And that's where
COVID opened up. Like,
so now you got to teach them how to play Mahjong, right?
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
Well,
Yeah.
actually,
That's a thing.
That's a thing.
Man.
It's a very big thing. In fact, we just got Joey's sister some for her birthday,
funny.
and I was like, I really seems really complex.
Let me know. Yeah, let me know when you figure it out.
So we do that.
So you started out with that kind of got them coming in, and then I mean now you have full on church, but you have Bible studies.
We have children's groups. We have after school programs.
You're really trying to help these people figure out how to do life. Is kind of what I gathered on the phone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's just you know, they're trying to figure out how to be an adult and then raise kids and make a better life for their kids.
And there's an interesting concept that because we have a 5-acre facility that we hosted the teams with, we had to figure out what to do with that. And as Heather said, we just started bringing people in.
Yeah.
And so there was this interesting concept formed in the late 80s called third place or third space. And what that means is basically is the first place you spend most of your time is your home with your family. Second place is your job. But then what is your third space? What's your third space?
Yeah.
Where's that at? And in America, you guys have that in spades.
Yeah.
You have the gym. You have the recreation departments. You have coffee shops.
So you're kind of the boys and girls club.
There we go.
Right. You're the boys and girls club for them to come to and have a safe space.
Sure.
They can play a game of basketball, a game of dominoes, or they can get the good word, right?
Absolutely. Or medical treatment.
Yeah.
We do lots of medical dental teams as well.
So you were talking about you're not boxing up, you send barrels back, right? So when you're trying to get materials and you're taking antibiotics back with you on this trip. So a barrel, you mean like a 50-gallon drum?
Right.
Or
3 of them. I just packed them yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, where do you take that to UPS or FedEx or where do you
well,
go
you know,
with that?
they say missionaries almost are similar to drug cartel leaders because where else can you order medications, put them in a black barrel and ship them across to another country with no one knowing it, right? But we're just putting them in a black barrel. We're making kind of a manifest list and we take them to a truck that takes them to the port, puts them on a ship.
Okay.
And then we receive them 3 or 4 weeks.
How long will that take? 3 to 4 weeks?
3 to 4 weeks. Yep.
So you're amoxicillin, cough syrup, just things that we take for granted, right?
Correct.
Yeah, we're so soft over here, right? I mean, how soft are Americans? You got to, when you come back, you're like,
there's a Walgreens on every corner, you know?
We're so sickly.
But those people in our village, Andy, they really, a lot of them don't have adequate health care like we spoke about. And so just being able to give someone Advil for a headache is an amazing.
It's just something we take for granted.
Or antacid. I mean, Tums when they think they're having a heart attack and all it is acid reflux.
But that's, if you've experienced that, it doesn't feel good.
Right.
And if there's a remedy for that and it's very simple, to have some of that on your shelf is helpful. Sure. So that's great. Something we don't think about. Is there a doctor there?
Okay.
Sure. And then I'm sure you guys have some doctors that come.
That comes every yes, we don't.
I know you don't do it, but I'm saying I know you guys have. You guys are. I was telling to somebody else. So you guys are the conduit. Y'all are the connection, the middleman for all things that these people need.
And Heather does a great job with the staff in the office. Heather does a great job of creating these programs and then finding professionals in Belize who can do the work alongside of us. And the Belizean doctors, they love coming over and working with Heather in the medical clinics, because then they get a way to give back to their own. So you're basically creating a missionary for their own country.
That's awesome. So the facility that you're in, it's on 5 acres. It's got a cafeteria. How many people can you sleep roughly? 80. Wow. And you guys were living there. So y'all been there a total of 10 years.
Right.
Y'all were living in this facility until the last couple of years. You guys built a house on the property. Is that right?
Well, we moved a lot the first few years.
Yeah.
We've lived
in a 1970 behind trailer,
like a 25-foot Shasta or something when we first got there. That was interesting. But we only had one child at that point.
I was going to say with Sophia.
With Sophia.
And a Shih
She's like, I thought I was getting away from all this stuff.
Yeah. With a Shih Tzu that we were instructed by my mom to take because we had sold the child's the house and everything. And
at least take the dog, right?
Yeah.
And to back up a little bit, we adopted our first child from Belize 18 years ago, and so that's who we're speaking about. Our daughter Sophia.
Exactly. Yeah. Which I'm trying to. We'll get to that, I guess. But so the facility, we talked about how big it is and all. It was already in operation. This is kind of where we're kind of backing into everything, but the man comes to you guys because y'all have been coming to a Better Belize for.
It's actually called Camelota Camp.
Camelota Camp.
Yeah.
Y'all have been going there on and off for what, 7 to 8 years, taking people from Quest Church there to do mission work, right? He comes to you guys and he's like, y'all need to buy this place.
Yeah.
And, Joey, like we talked about, he's just an intern, always optimistic, right? And you're not negative by any means, but you're a little bit more of a realist, right?
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it.
You're like, yes, let's do it. And Heather's like,
The money that we were going to bring him and the help aid to build his church at that point. So we were kind of back to the drawing board. We're like, okay, well, we've got this nonprofit, but I guess we'll just sit it on the side and money will be there. And we're fine. The board was fine with that. And we went on to help that pastor that trip renovate his church.
Okay.
And while we were there, the owner of the camp, he approached us and said, I'm getting older, I'm ready to retire. Y'all come here all the time. You do good with teams. Would you like to buy it?
Just dropped a bomb before we left.
Hey God,
so he comes to you and says that, right? And then you're like, well, what are you thinking numbers wise? And he said, well, I'll owner finance it, 75 down, 300 roughly for the property
total,
and the donation that you had received from your friend at the church was how much?
75,000. so
it was hard to deny at that point.
Here's your sign.
Yeah,
there you go.
There were so many, and it's like you don't. And I don't think that anybody. I mean, everybody sits back and first story. Well, y'all just special, whatever. And it's like, we're not. You can speak to the fact that this was not.
I think,
it was all God.
But again, that's breaking down barriers with religion and that perception that people have. That's kind of one of the conversations you and I had was you guys didn't have, y'all hadn't been to seminary school, and it's not like you'd been on 100 mission trips and things like that. This thing kind of happened, over time, and you were questioning it to a degree, right? Because am I worthy enough? I don't have the background, and you know what? At some point, you were like, we can do this, right?
Well, that God can. That's what.
And he's telling you to do it, right?
But so how many of us? I mean, everybody. And you feel the tug in your heart to pray for somebody or do something nice, or you feel just and you think. You second guess it.
Right.
It was a million of those moments when you just say, okay, God, I have to trust in me.
Right.
And I don't have to know all the answers. Like going into these podcasts, we never feel comfortable with this kind of stuff.
Right. I get it.
But God just makes it work out.
So that was another piece of the puzzle, right? And you'd been going there, but originally how it all kind of started was Dada goes on a mission trip, right? So that's Heather's mom goes on a mission trip, and
her grandmother name is Dada, so
which is great.
Yeah,
I mean,
Dada, and but at the time she was definitely Diane. That was, but prior to any grandbabies, but we had struggled with infertility for about 7 years at that point.
Exactly.
We're kind of contemplating IVF for adoption.
Yeah.
Clarity. And so mom, she was asked to go on a mission trip. Basically felt ill-equipped, just like we go on a mission trip. But she was brave enough to go, and the Lord used her in the setting of a conference.
Diane, I still want to say Dada, but she goes on this mission trip, and she's with a couple of people she knows.
Yeah, I mean, at the time we're going to local church here in the pastor.
But she gets paired up with another church group, another denomination, and they are more charismatic or evangelical, I guess you would say.
100%.
And Diane at the time is Episcopalian, strong in her faith, but not as, so what?
Just didn't understand the Holy Spirit. Like,
so she's not really jiving with the other people in the mission group, in the group, right? So she says to herself, I'm going to go over there and keep that nursery. I want to be with those babies.
Exactly. Like we all do. I'll do what I can do. I feel comfortable
that's what
doing.
she knew what to do.
Sure.
We get that on trips all the time with people that come over. And,
right.
They're all scared. They're all feeling ill, like we did. So she put herself in that moment. A woman that she was a baby came to get her baby, and she said, "Would you take my baby to the U.S.?" And my mom thought, I never even thought about that, but I do have a daughter.
I do.
Son-in-law.
I got somebody.
And so that kind of started it. Though that particular baby in opportunity ended up falling through, but it did make the connection.
It sparked.
Right.
And and so we got a call several months later about another child. And so we went to Belize, our now daughter Sophia, and
who is now going to college at
We
Augusta University.
Brought her back to Columbia County. She's living right here in Evans.
I know.
I was thinking, I was like, I don't want to cry during this thing, but it's just like watching that. It's just
But she is.
She excited.
And Heather speaks really confidently in this moment.
Right.
But I will tell you that she kind of felt like adoption was picking a doggy out of the window kind of thing. Like she had a hard time at that point.
Yeah.
We both did, because we were dealing with all the infertility. And so I literally
like the decision of it, and then
well, I don't like to give up.
Yeah.
So oftentimes I'm referred to as a bulldog. Like, when the bulldog sinks their teeth into you, they won't let go until you weren't
completely done, or you weren't ready to shut the door on you having your own child.
I desire to have my own child.
Sure. I mean, as a woman, I mean, that's.
Yeah. I had been in 9 never given up. I mean, giving birth. So I don't know why people would ask me to come be there with him, but I thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. If you don't question that there's a God, you just go and watch people that you love have a baby, and it's
that's
miraculous. And I wanted that for us.
And so when she heard about this next child, which is now our daughter, she sort of put up the Heisman and said, no, we're not doing this. And I, behind her back, bought 2 tickets to Belize. I said, we're go. And I just gave them to her. And I said, we're getting on this plane.
It was my birthday present, which at the time was
and
birthday present. But
she wasn't happy.
She was not happy.
She was not happy.
Going over.
Right.
No.
But
Absolutely.
we had
who was the other plane ticket for? Did you go?
Oh yeah, we both went together.
Okay.
Yes.
But we had failed adoption.
So that was another. So you had touched on that yesterday. You had an Augusta an adoption
Sure.
fall through. That was tough.
Yeah.
And then obviously in the
At
one in
the
Belize,
same
yeah,
time, mom came
right,
home.
right, yeah, yeah.
Option, and we were coming
It's not
to her
easy,
about
right?
that.
I mean, and it's you have to make those decisions. That people are surprised, but you got to make those decisions really fast.
Oh, yeah.
Our adoption story with Jackson was just within the family, but still, it becomes a point where things are in motion and you've got to decide.
Sure.
And Emily the whole time was, I want that baby.
And
Give me that baby.
it's less
and
of
I'm
a
like,
drink and a quick decision.
What?
It's
Yeah.
more about
like,
discernment.
Well, are you, I was kind of dragging my feet, because we had 2 kids, the jobs, everything was.
Well,
Did you have a window of time though that you really kind of had to make that decision?
Yeah, so it wasn't a birth thing because he was already born.
Right.
I think we got him at 6 months. It was just the mom kind of coming back in and out of the picture. There started becoming some insecurity or issues there, but
you guys had watched it develop up kind of over time.
But we were watching.
Yeah.
Yes, we watched from the birth to the 6-month period. My older sister had custody, and she and her husband, have a house, and their other kids are grown and everything like that. They were doing okay with it, but it was, it just wasn't a great fit, right? And they were kind of getting by rather than, and we were, yeah. And,
but what a blessing, for you to be able to provide, and
we did it, and again, kudos to Emily and my mama, and my dad. They were both very encouraging, and they were like, you guys can do this. Y'all are great parents,
so
and Emily's a great mother, and we did it. And of course, COVID hit, like you were talking about, and then you get into all the adoption world. It's like, why is this so hard?
Exactly.
Why is this so hard? She signed off all her, anything
rights.
We asked her to do, she did. Take it back to the attorney and all that kind of stuff. And then you got to file it with the judge. And then this takes this whole period of time. But
I say adoptive parents ought to come with an ID card.
Yeah.
That gets you in any door, in any building, including any government complex.
But ours compared to others, ours was simple compared to other people's story because it was within the family. But other people, so disappointed that it's difficult and it shouldn't be. But
I think about, and I equate it like that a woman has. I mean, when you think about all the miraculous things that a body has to go through in order to give birth.
Women are a lot tougher and smarter. I'm going on record. It's the truth.
Just miraculous. I mean, the bones separate.
Yeah.
The hormones. I mean, person goes from breathing water to air. I mean, like those things. And then,
right.
And so is adoption.
So
is adoption.
Adoption the same way. When you get through with that, you're like, there is no way that I just made it through all that.
Yeah, that, and then
not my child.
here's the other thing. You can kind of touch on this piece too. Sophia, she had loving parents and siblings and everything too, right?
She's the youngest of 11.
11. But it's when you went there, they were kind of looking at you guys like, don't take my little sister, right?
Exactly.
So that's tough.
Yeah. We got off the plane. I mean, I was a wreck, honestly.
Yeah.
When I went willingly, Joey had bought the tickets on the plane, but I didn't want to go. There was nothing in me that wanted to go. I didn't want to go and open to the heartache. Devastating.
It didn't work out.
For those 2 times, and with 7 years of stop. I mean, I went every month for 12 months straight. One time for fertility stuff, and so it was. I was just beaten.
You were
after all that, and I didn't want to.
It's exhausting.
And so we got there. Yeah, we went to Sophia, and by the poverty and the kids And I had an idea of what I thought I was going to walk
Right.
into, which was, hey, this thoughtless woman
Yeah.
just having babies.
And it was the complete
they just-
opposite.
Portrait of the mom and the dad
Yeah.
on the front porch, and all of their children, you know, just really burdened by having to let their
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
baby go, which was 6 or 5 months. She was 5 months old, and they had loved on her and cared for her for those 5 months.
So why were they open to adoption?
And the skinny of it is, Andy, that they were people of faith.
Yeah.
And the mother said that she had had a dream that the Lord came to her in a dream and told her that that last 11th child was not hers and that she needed to seek the rightful mother.
Wow.
And I tell people all the time, I said, you know, if you remember the story in the Bible where Abraham goes to sacrifice his son Isaac and, you know, the Lord stays his hand. I said, that's an Abraham type faith that I don't even know I have.
Right.
If you asked me to give her up today,
Yeah.
buddy, I don't think I'd be there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I really respect, if you want to know who I respect more than anyone, it's the woman that gave her child for me. You
Her
know?
faith was something that
Oh,
you couldn't
No.
comprehend.
Nope.
and I really didn't believe,
Yeah.
honestly. I mean, like, and I'm sure that anybody who listens to this is like,
Yeah.
what? I mean, unless you've been
But
that
it
kind of
happened, right?
faithful
And
journey
Yeah.
and seen God move like that, I had never
Wow.
seen that. So
so she was at peace. The mom and dad were at peace with it, right?
And I would say as much peace as they could have,
right.
yeah.
knowing that they were doing the right thing.
But I will
But
tell
the
you,
brothers and sisters were,
yeah.
that was where, when you told me they were, you know, hanging on to the,
Crying as we walked out
Yeah.
the door. Yeah. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough.
but since then, you guys, which I didn't realize this, but as a good faith thing, a year or so later, you go back with Nick and your uncle and build them a house.
Yeah, they, as
Right.
Heather said, they had a really small house. I
Yeah.
think there were 11 people living in a 20 by 20. So 20 foot by 20 foot.
Dirt floor?
No, they
they were off the ground.
they were
Okay.
off the ground, but it was barely.
Wow.
But it was like a patchwork of little pieces
Yeah.
of
Right.
tin and wood.
Anything
and
they could
stuff, and
find.
they just
Exactly.
made a
Exactly.
wall.
Yeah. And so, but as you mentioned, Heather's uncle, who was a home builder in East Tennessee, we jumped on a plane and we went down there, and through the generosity of a lot of friends and family, they donated,
right.
and we built them a house.
And you did it in a week.
We did it in a week.
You did, it's like that TV
now-
show, right? What was the one that was
That's what I was
popular?
envisioning.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't quite
I
like,
mean,
you
you
know,
got the,
we
y'all
got
got
the
it
shell
framed
up.
up.
Yeah, we got
dried
framed.
in.
Exactly. All that, windows and doors.
Are they
And
still in the house?
They are.
Yeah.
They are. And we occasionally visit them. Over the years, we didn't remove ourselves from
How
their
far
lives.
away are they from?
A couple hours.
Okay.
From us.
Okay.
But just super grateful to
Yeah.
have them in our life for all those years of Sophia growing up. Even when we were in the U.S., they would call her on her birthday and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, just amazing.
So we get Sophia, you guys, and we're all over the place. It doesn't matter, but that you get her.
We adopted her.
You adopted her. Took 2 years, roughly.
Well,
Actually,
so,
we did a lightning round. It was more like 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, so because her birth parents asked us to hurry back, I was on a mission to get back home, to get all the paperwork. So I don't know how in the world I did it, but I got all the home studies and stuff done in a month. And the Belizean government told me that when I get all that done, to bring it back to Belize, I would just be 3 weeks before I got a court date. So I was thinking, go through all this long process.
Yeah, what's their problem?
I'm zipping it. I mean, like, this is going fast.
Yeah, we didn't know the Lord was doing all this behind the scenes.
So Joey and I go and we deliver the paperwork. Tell my boss at the time, like, hey, I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks. No big deal. Joey comes back. I'm caring for Sophia at Missionaries, that house that my mom met on that first trip. So I was staying with them, and so anyways, it felt like it never ended. Like the 3 weeks passed, and I'm called congressmen, senators. I aggravated the American embassy, the Belizean people, the embassy, social workers, and it was then Thanksgiving came, And then
So fast forward, you're there for 6 months trying to get back home.
And little did we know 6 months for an international adoption is a lightning round.
Nothing.
No, that's nothing.
But people don't stay normally with their child. So it was a blessing.
Yeah, we were
I
living
had
there.
that 6 months with her.
Yeah.
You're over there for 6 months.
And I'm flying back and forth. I had a job that allowed me to go back and forth. She took a leave of absence, like she said, but we came home 6 months later and tried to, re-enter life with a new baby.
Right.
And
so that's when you guys start trying to live normal life,
back to
life
normal.
here.
Yeah.
Right. You go back to work, Sophia, but that's when you start getting the call from church members and call from
no, we
to go back
went
on
a year later
mission trips, right?
Yeah.
A year, we adopted her, and later we did the house for her family because we were able,
that's right.
Her adoption was finalized. Then and that's when Quest was just a new plant church.
Right. Yep.
And I'd been before that. So it was a big difference.
And Quest was very instrumental in this, they obviously heard about our adoption, but they were looking
really helped
to start an international program. So it kind of was a meeting of both experiences where they had a desire to go.
part in pushing you guys.
100%.
And you guys started taking groups from Quest back to where you had been.
Right.
And then everything 7 years later turns into you buying.
The ministry, our ministry of Better Belize bought this mission camp facility.
And now you've been there for 10 years.
Yeah.
So this has gone on for almost 20 years, but you've been in
off and on.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot.
It's amazing. How can people help you guys? I know that's a broad question, but you were just Heather was telling me that she'd been on a tour, a speaking tour to other churches and things like that. I mean, it's fundraising, right? I mean, you got to raise funds to grow the ministry, and there's always a need. Is it a donation? Can they go to the website and donate there? Okay.
Absolutely. Heather spent last fall, as you mentioned, she started in Texas and moved her way all the way over. Unfortunately, she didn't get to hit Georgia and South Carolina. Unfortunately, that was right when the hurricane just devastated and came through you guys' community.
Have y'all experienced a hurricane down in y'all? Is that happen all the time down there?
I was about to say, I think Heather and I've ridden out 5 of them while we've been down there.
So y'all are just laughing at us here?
No, not necessarily, because you guys are.
It was pretty bad.
They come in much larger. Yeah. So you guys definitely got it worse than we do. But
we're coming up on a year of that. That was.
Oh.
Man, I hope we don't have one of those.
Has it only been a year?
September 28th, I think, 26th, something like that.
Most of you guys feel like it's probably been a lot longer.
That, yes and no, right? I'm sure there's still people's houses that are.
Sure.
So, but
yeah, so we do operate the mission facility where we still welcome a handful of church teams to come in, and that helps pay the bills.
Yeah.
We've got about 6 staff members full-time, Belizeans and Americans alike. But yeah, we rely on donations and people to come down, but also people here that become monthly partners and kind of donate to us.
So that's a good way, right? If somebody could become a monthly partner, it's kind of a consistent way for you guys to have, consistent amount of money coming in, and that's not too hard might be easier on the person wanting to donate.
Yes.
Break it into.
We kind of have a 3-prong approach.
Yeah.
Pray, donate, or come serve. Come be with us.
Right.
But like I said, Belize is such an easy country. English speaking. They drive on the same side of the road.
Yeah.
I mean, you can walk down the street in Belize and your neighbors speak to you.
So my church group comes over. What are you guys gonna?
Typically,
it depends on the
I would give
time of the year. Or,
no, well, yes and no. We have a week program, so I normally share that with church leaders, and then let them say, "Hey, we really feel
gotcha."
Okay, so we have these things set in place,
and they're mainly working on your grounds, right? Or are they going
or in our community?
Okay, yeah.
We take them. We keep them, as Heather mentioned, in our programs on the facility, but then we also lead them into the community
to help
right there around
some areas. Because
sure,
Heather was telling me, I was like, are you guys scared of people wanting to hurt you or anything like that. And you're like, no, they protect us at all costs because you guys help the locals with their problems and things like that. So yeah.
And we're, that is the best way to share the
Right.
gospel is through relationship.
Yeah.
The way that God made us. So yeah, that's everything.
Yeah.
We work on spirit, soul, body, individual, whether they're little or
right
70, 80.
No, that's great.
Yeah. We've gotten the being a part of their lives for
wow.
Great. But yeah, when you come down to stay with us, that does help. It helps to pay the bills. We don't really charge extra for the services of ministry and stuff, but we do make sure that you're taken care of. One of our gifts is hospitality. So,
right.
So you
guys roll out. You give them a little Southern hospitality,
yeah,
right?
And the food, it just the food never stops.
The Northerners come and they're like,
what is some good Belizean? Give me an idea of what some good Belizean food is.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Belizean or Belizean. Yeah. we go back and forth. But yeah, so the staple diet is rice and beans and stewed chicken. So, it's comfort food. It really is. It feels like the South.
Yeah.
So rice and beans and stewed chicken, fried plantains. You ever had fried plantains? They're really good.
Yeah,
like fried
good,
banana.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. We've got a lot of offerings from the sea. People bring in snapper all the time and local people eat fish. But we eat a lot of other cultural dishes. So as Heather mentioned, the Garifuna people, the African leftover imports, they have these traditional dishes like they call one hudut or sereh, which are more like a soup type deals, but with lots of different vegetables and meats. Coconut milks. Yeah. And so if you've ever traveled to a Caribbean country, you're going to have that flavor in Belize. But
that's pretty good.
Beef was never really that good there. Boy, I'll tell you, the heat and the humidity is not good for cattle.
It's hard on cows.
But they've crossbred them such that now, man, we're getting some much better beef. Yeah, so it's really good.
Y'all have good coffee?
We grow coffee in the mountains.
Right.
But I wouldn't say it's like a Guatemala or anything. Juan Valdez is somewhere else. But we do have coffee. And it's, and flan. I don't know if you flan dessert. It's really popular there. Leftover Spanish.
Yeah.
Tres leches. Those are really good. But we're adopting.
So you guys do a lot of cookouts and get-togethers and things like that with other. Y'all have any friends over there?
Yeah, no, we do.
Y'all get together with
Belize
other
is a big missionary community. And when we do have time, because everybody's doing their own thing.
Yeah.
But when we do, we spend Thanksgiving. Heather cooks Thanksgiving for like 40 or 50.
Wow.
Well, okay, all right. I'm sandbagging.
It grows every year,
right?
And I started it to incorporate our American,
right?
Because we all were kind of missing. That's really a hard time.
So you do a traditional Thanksgiving, somewhat
as much as we
all
can.
Of my grandmother's recipes that are my favorite, and then I have everybody from the States bring.
Let's
that.
talk about that. So, Mama Diane's from East Tennessee, which. We thought we had accents, right? That Tennessee accent.
She's light, bright, white, hot, and tight.
And then John Brummy, God rest his soul, we just lost Brummy, but he is from Willacoochee, Georgia.
Yeah,
what a name, right?
I know, right?
And I've been there, and I can't tell you how to get back there. But
if
you want to talk about
through a bunch of back roads.
Yes. You want to talk about some good Southern cooking.
Oh, yeah.
Man, his twin sister, sent us off that Sunday. I mean, we had a spread that was so good.
Much more.
Yes.
Talk about farm to table.
Yes. And it was. Yeah. So we pull into town and she's got a 6-shooter on her hip.
Yeah.
She's like in a velour jumpsuit, right? Like
Aunt Joni,
Kim Kardashian style jumpsuit.
Right.
This has been a good 10 years or so ago.
Meets the Hatfields and McCoys
with a 357 on the hip, and she's like, "Y'all get in the truck." And 8 hours later, we had ridden every back road that you could. So now I kind of know where
he got it.
Brummy got it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for
Woods.
sure. Man. Gosh, I have all these notes. Anything that you think we need to touch on, or anything you wanted to mention about the ministry or anything like that?
You know, one of the things that I think I always like to talk about is, we spoke about it earlier, people feeling kind of ill-equipped.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't feel like I know why I'm here. We get that all the time.
You're like, just come on, brother. I got you.
And the thing is, you know what? You don't really have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Just bring yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
And it's going to be okay.
Enjoy meeting people and being in relationship. And because we're kind of a grassroots ministry, you can fit in really quickly. You know, we're not some large nonprofit organization,
right?
But we are a Georgia nonprofit that operates in Belize. But we welcome anybody to come. We've got churches from California to New York to Washington State. I mean, we've got churches from all over the country that have come down.
And they come back a good bit, right? Once somebody comes, once they get a dose of these two right here, they're back, right?
We do. I mean, we encourage long-term relationship. Yeah. One of the things with short-term missions that, you know, it's like, hey, I'm here, I'm gone. And the people that you leave behind, you develop like a calloused heart to those
they don't want to get too close because they come and go.
Yeah. So continued missions, like coming back to the same place every year, really does develop a long-term relationship. We've seen God work like Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, like it's fun because you make relationships and make Facebook friends or Instagram or something, and they're having a baby or they're struggling with something, they can text.
Yeah, and I'm sure you watch some of these young people grow up too, right?
Oh, wow.
We
some of your young missionaries.
So we love having
this is a good story. Tell it.
In our at our camp in Belize, many people get married. There's a lot of common law, so I'm always kind of like driving home, like, want to get married?
Yeah,
and we'll do it all for free. I'll decorate it and I'll do all these. We got this big facility, so that's one of my favorite things. And we've had, several of our employees, and one missionary that was the first one from Oklahoma. She handled our literacy program. She married a local guy, and then several of our other employees got married. And when we came back, when I got back off of my trip, just recently, I was home for May, and we had a wedding, our first wedding. And that was with a young man that
we raised.
I feel like
Seriously.
So we used to have a group of little boys, and because a lot of times boys are able to roam the streets and go out and
they come hang around.
That's
but
right.
The girls
you
are
put them
held
work
all the time.
Close and just so it was Sophia, our daughter, and 10 little boys that were always there, and they would be there at 6 o'clock in the morning, like, hey.
So one of those is grown up now, and
grown up and just married.
Wow.
One of our American camp managers from Kentucky. She graduated from College of Charleston. They just got married. So
we've
now where are they going to live?
Well, we have a staff. We have a staff residence that we bought that's external from that
right
property.
Now they're going to stay.
So they've been living there. Oh, well, she's been living there for a few years, and now they're going to be there together.
Cool story. They have.
I'm thinking reality show. I think we got to get some cameras over there.
So we have a discipleship program.
The world needs more of this.
Yeah,
I think.
There you go.
That Olivia runs, and so it is basically where we sow into a child that we have 10 positions here, and we sow into that child in covenant to do Bible study, one-on-one discipleship stuff, and so one
mentorship.
Of the little girls in that group lived with her grandmother, and her grandmother passed away, and we were able to be there with her through that passing. Olivia took it on herself to ask the Lord if she could foster.
Wow.
So at 23, she becomes a foster parent to a child in our program.
And
I mean,
and
that's
so
just
now her
so
and
good.
Erwin are foster Valentina.
I know.
And they can't adopt because they're not 12 years apart.
Right.
That's one of the laws, and not 12 years in age.
Apart.
But so our staff resident gets utilized in that way.
Great.
And and Erwin has grown into a wonderful man. And we're so proud of him.
You guys have done some amazing things, and I'm sure you've just seen
Well, God's done some amazing things.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because when you transition from someone who can write a check to someone who has to receive one, it's a very humbling thing to do in life. We're still not comfortable with it. No, I mean, it's hard. And people thought, quite frankly, you guys had some good jobs and you were doing good. You're crazy for, giving it all up. But you know what? God has met us every place, every door that needed to open, including the one to come in here and talk to you.
Yeah.
It just opens up.
That's right.
And so and to watch him do all these things.
I think people love to help you guys. I know that's tough.
There are there's some seriously generous people from this Augusta area.
We got some good people here
that have been a part of what we do.
Yeah.
So
y'all
shout
are
out
good.
to
Y'all
them.
are, but y'all are local Augustans out there doing it too. Y'all ever think about coming home? We miss you though.
You know what? All the time.
Yeah.
Well, I always tell people, I'm like,
you come back and you get a recharge, and then are you excited when you go back? I'm sure there's some.
It's hard to go back, leave family members, but I think we enjoy our time away. It gives us perspective.
Yeah.
So that, because when you're in it 7 days a week, it's hard to see it evolve or change. But to be able to go back after now the longest time we've been here, which is a couple of months, I think it'll be a
recharge.
Wind beneath the wings.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Great.
Never really expected to be there in the first place. So
No.
I just figured that the same way God will go. But
because when we all heard the news, we were
always,
and we thought it was going to happen. We didn't, we just, like you said, you didn't know if it was going to last year, 2 years, because some people do these, but y'all are doing it.
Well, and I think it was such a big weight into something artistic. And, when you're a kid and you draw, you have this plan of what you're going to draw. You draw the little house, the little picture, flowers, butterflies, and stuff. And then my pesky brother would always come by and knock my hand, or, right about the time you're going to paintbrush, hit it, and the blob of paint would be right there. I feel like that's what happened in our life with those things just devastate you. You're like, that's not my plan. That's not what I had on.
But he was working in you the whole time.
My mom was always good about telling me to look past what it can be. And I feel like that's the way that God kind of took our story, and he takes all of our story if we're willing to give it to him. And what she would do is she would tell me, except for a big blob of paint, and it's ruined all my plans. And so it ended up that she would, right about the time I was ready to give up, she would take my brush and of each of hand, she would turn it into like a butterfly that was supposed to be right there on coming over the flowers, and you're like, saw it, because your perspective is so focused on
he's there
on what you think it would be. And so our lives definitely left that into the hands of God, and would encourage everybody to do that, because when we stop trying to make it what we think, really learn to listen to him, then I think that that's
and I love the fact that you guys it didn't happen overnight, right?
Yeah.
But you did know that these things were happening for a reason.
Sure.
And
you
did take the leap of faith.
And it's not, just like I feel like what we're talking about adoption, you don't really, it's not like you're all like, yay, let's go do this.
You've got to take, you just got to.
We had literally some, speaking of like friends that you do stuff with, when you were asking that one thing, there was a couple that we have supper with. Sophie, they were from Canada, and their ministry was to actually advocate for fostering adoption in Belize. So they always had emergency placement children in their house, and they would spend about 3 or 4 months there, and they would get them, kind of to where they had a regular routine cleaned up and everything, and then they would try to find parents. So they would always ask us, because every Friday we would go over there, and I'd be like, no, sorry.
There'd be another child, Andy, and they'd be like, you sure you don't want to?
Aren't they cute? And then when Sophia would play with their little girl, they would come back and she would say,
Yeah.
baby so-and-so or whatever. I'm like, no, girl, we are fine. And because we had
like
so
fostering
much.
dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean,
But some people, I mean,
you feel like you
Yeah.
don't have any margin. There's no like, you don't really desire that.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that it's crazy when Friday night she came home. There's and I'm like, no, girl, same answer the last 17
Right.
times. So then that week, we both at the end of the week, I said, the Holy Spirit's out. I can't get this child out of my mind, but I don't want you to freak out. I'm not saying
Right.
like that we need to adopt or anything. And he turned white, literally. And I said, I didn't stop.
he was
And he
already
goes,
thinking the
no,
same
it's
thing.
not that at all. He had been
I'd already went
hearing
over there.
the Lord the whole week there because he had never even seen the child or met her. So he had gone over there.
I went over by
like
myself.
30 minutes before I said something to him. And so he met her and he said, I just met her. And I didn't know why. And we really thought it was because we were facilitating adoption.
And she's now been in our life for over 7 years.
Wow.
And she.
Well, by the way, we have four Belizeans.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sophie has gotten all the attention.
Yeah.
But y'all have a total of four
Belizean children.
Wow.
Yep.
You know, names, ages, real quick.
Yep. So we have Sophia, obviously, who's 18.
Right.
We have Jessica.
And fully adopted.
Jessica, Jeffrey, and Emily, 15, 14, and 10, are all a sibling set that we're fostering to adopt.
Okay.
So that's going to be interesting because we can't adopt them as Americans. So our citizenship in Belize this year is really important.
It's a big deal. Right.
Because you can't adopt a foreign child after you've had possession of them.
Is there any problem with getting Belizean citizenship?
No, not really, because we're already resident.
Okay.
6 times.
Yeah, just a little bit of time.
5 years.
I'm like, who we got to rough up over there?
I know, right?
Who we got to call?
Yeah. More like the $100 handshake.
Yeah,
let's get this
done.
More like the $100 handshake.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now we have 4.
They've been with you guys though for how long?
So Emily's been with us, as Heather mentioned, 7 years. And then just 4 years ago, her biological siblings were separated with another foster parent that we kind of knew, but we didn't know them.
Right.
And so she called us one day and she says, hey, our parents are ailing in Canada. Could you house Emily's brother and sister for 6 months while I go home and care for my family?
Oh.
And we prayed about it a little bit and we said, sure.
Yeah.
And then they had been there maybe a month. I said, they can't go back.
I will tell you that our hearts
How tough was that with that foster? They were okay with it?
Oh, yeah.
Because you were bringing the whole family back together anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, you mean the other couple? I mean, the other lady that had them.
They were good.
She was really wanting us.
Yeah, she was a temporary placement.
Right.
But we can
she knew what she was doing.
Exactly.
Yes, she did.
But we're not foster parents. We're foster.
Yeah.
That's our heart.
Yeah. How can people do foster parent stuff?
Champions of the world.
They have to have a special heart. God has to give you that ability to let go.
To let go. We don't have it.
Yeah. I hope I never
my
have
baby now.
No, exactly.
But yeah, it was. And so Emily got her
nonverbal.
She didn't talk. She didn't walk at 3. And so I didn't see
what she is now. Right. I mean, she's
now you can't shut her up.
Yeah. Cause I met her, I've met her in the last couple of weeks and Mama met her the other day, I think. And she's doing good.
Yeah.
Right.
They all are. But it just goes to show that
getting braces. Who's getting braces?
Heather knows all this. I don't know.
Probably. Well, we're thinking Jeffrey's about ready for braces.
Yeah.
So.
Jessica has them.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Emily, it's not something that you decide that you're thinking, I don't have margin. I don't know about how to get a child to talk in a country where we literally waited.
Yeah, you don't have a speech pathologist.
We didn't. I waited a year on the one
No.
speech pathologist in the country at the time.
We had one.
Yeah.
We had to drive an hour each way to see him.
So yeah, I mean those kind of things. But I will tell you that one of the things that I learned that I didn't learn from Sophia had one loving environment.
Yeah.
And we take for granted that we grow up in loving environments. If
that was a
Yes,
big
sir.
part of the nonverbal was abuse and trauma.
Right. Correct. And for all three of that sibling,
Yeah.
we kind of go through and walk through that trauma healing every day.
Yeah.
We have different aspects that present themselves, whether it's in school or home or
right.
Yeah.
And having that neglect and stuff happen in those is definitely scarring.
Yeah.
But I would tell people not to shy away from it, because you take for granted the power of love if you've had it your whole life.
Right.
And things that when you place love in that wound, it heals. And it is amazing to see the power.
Well, Scripture
of love.
says love covers a multitude of sins. So that's it.
It's beautiful to watch. And I didn't realize I took it all these years that I had lived in a loving family.
Right. Yeah, that is true. You take for granted that also waking up in a bed. But everybody, if you can, be sure to look at Better Belize, right?
Yes.
BetterBelize.com?
BetterBelize.org.
.org.
Okay. Yeah,
like
Better Belize. And that's what we're making
and
every day.
We'll post a link and everything on.
Man, that'd be a blessing.
Right.
Truly.
Yeah. For the 5 people that listen, right? Yeah. So,
by the way, and thank you, because we don't get this opportunity very often.
No, this was something this is something that's kind of been on my, thank you to Maybom for putting everything together.
Absolutely.
But to me, I just thought it was an opportunity to try to shed some light on some good people doing the good work out there. And
thank you. But it's good to be home in our good community.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, guys. Anything else you could think of?
I mean, the only thing that I would say is, this all ties back to that amazing, mighty woman of faith that really and truly birth mother's about 4'9", maybe.
Maybe.
She's tiny in stature, but mighty in her faith. And I didn't believe that what she said,
she worked a mighty work in you guys, though, right? And look at what it's done.
And we just to end it off on a good note. Some of our family came down a few years ago, and we got to baptize them there.
So,
and that's really
that was one of my notes is in watching your dad after watching his daughter go off to Belize and everything like that. It changed him. Right. In a lot of great ways, but his faith became much stronger. And
he loved coming down.
Yeah. I mean, it was neat to watch, and Nick and everything too, but still, I just, watching your dad, that was pretty neat how it worked through him.
I know. So, gonna miss that guy.
Yeah.
So but thank you
I
for
love
having
you.
us.
Love y'all.
Love you, man. Absolutely. Yep. Thank you all.
Make me cry.
Oh, great.